clap sync. You got to do that because then the audio goes in line with the camera and they know that we're talking. And I got to stay close to the mic. What's up, everybody? This is like the beginning and the end.
Of what?
Of new stuff for Coalcracker. We are so fancy right now that you can't even imagine the fanciness. We have microphones, we have cameras, we have lights, and it's all part of new evolution. That's part of why we're going to do this question and answer, because we haven't done this in a very, very long time. We have a special guest.
Hi, everyone.
Today. So let's get into it. What's up, guys? Dan here and
Brooke
from Coalcracker. Today, question and answer. We haven't done this in a very long time. If you're new to the channel, you're like, what is happening? I came here for outdoor skills, but we do have a good time with this. It's going to be a little bit different than our old question and answer because you can see we are inside because Brooke is consistently cold. She freezes to death.
Got my jacket on today?
All year round. So outside was out of the question, but we're still going to answer a lot of the questions that we've been asked and some other things and just tell you some updates with Coalcracker and why I'm saying it's the beginning of the end or end of the beginning of the end. We're starting new, right? So if you have been following us recently, you know that I'm like the camera guy, I'm the producer, I'm the editor, I'm everything. So we're changing that up. We're going to reformat the channel a little bit. Still the same great content that you all love and came here to see, but we have John, the cameraman, who's going to be working with me hand in hand. So the content is going to just be a lot more streamlined. It's going to be a lot better overall, so you get a better just overall experience when you watch Coalcracker. Better audio. That's why we have these set up. But I will say this. John didn't set this stuff up. So if the audio is a hot mess, if the light goes out, or we have to pause because my battery's going dead, it's like, it's a final hurrah in a sense. But we'll be back. So Friday will be the first newer style video coming up. So question and answer. I said to Brooke, you can't ask me questions beforehand. I don't want to know them. And she doesn't even... You know that we're asking questions because she has...
I have cue cards with me.
Cue cards. So if you don't know, Brooke is my wife. Tell them about the CEO.
Got my shirt on today.
She's the CEO till we got to do CEO things. And then I default to CEO, right? But all the instructors do go to you when they say we're going to get the CEO involved.
Yeah, I make it happen.
Yeah, she makes it happen, all right. So I get in trouble and she makes it happen. That's how that all operates.
So today you're going to be asked 15 questions. So these questions he has not seen before. There are a variety of questions from the viewers and some that I made up that I think you'll enjoy.
I was going to get her. I drink a lot of Monster Energy, the black with the black with blue label. If you come to a course, feel free to bring those. They have no peach vibes.
I have one in the refrigerator. I don't drink mine till about 1:30.
Okay,
We're a little early.
No peach vibe. I'm already getting hyped up on caffeine.
I have water. I'll put mine right there with yours.
You know, we used to do Bushcraft beer. What was it? Bushcraft and beers?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Van Linsky. He used to get drunk and gag on beer. Okay.
He might be brought up in this show today.
A blast from the past. Wow. I'm still buddies with him.
We'll show you a little clip of him.
No, we won't, because now that's more editing. Are you editing this? Oh, now I got to dig
Everybody
through it.
would like to see his picture.
Okay.
We'll show you his mugshot.
We'll put it right here. There he is.
We'll pretend he's here.
No, he's here because I just inserted the photo of him. It's going to be awesome.
All right. You ready to get into this? 15 questions. Be honest. If you don't know an answer, it's okay. You can pass.
I would hope I know the answer if it's opinion. It's not math problems, and I'm pretty good at math, so I'm going to fly through this.
Okay. You ready?
No, I'm sweating, but all right.
Okay. First question. What are the main mental challenges of long-term living in nature?
Who did you make this up?
This is one from a viewer.
All right, read it one more time. I was so distracted by the microphone. I'm so excited.
That you might face in long-term living in nature.
So I can tell a lot of people that are viewers don't know that I was on Alone season 3. I lasted 51 days in the wilderness of Patagonia. Pretty intense experience overall. the mental challenges of that become that you start to miss people, even if I'm not a huge people person, believe it or not, but you start to just miss the interactions with people. So that plays on you. And then as you, if you're not eating a lot, in my case, I wasn't eating a lot, it really plays mental tricks on you. So you start to worry about things you otherwise wouldn't worry about. You think like, well, what if somebody at home is dying? Like it revolves back to people and not being involved with them if they're in your life. So I think that's probably the hardest mental challenge. I was never in a situation that I thought, I mean, when I was on alone, I was starving to death, but I knew I can leave the situation at any moment. So I never felt the panic of fear of like, I'm going to die. So I just think it's the missing of interaction of people mentally wears on you and you start to do things you normally wouldn't do otherwise. Did that answer that?
Yeah. Okay, number 2.
This might be a longer episode than my normal 4 or 5 minutes, so you better go get a cold
bear
brewski
with us here.
or a cup of coffee if you watch it in the morning, or coffee with some Irish whiskey in it. We all like to have alcoholic beverages here at Coalcracker once in a while. Is the microphone on fire? No, I think we're good. It smells burning.
Okay, this is also from a viewer.
Okay.
What makes you choose durability, meaning like wax canvas,
Okay.
over lightweight, like sil nylon?
So I don't always choose durability over lightweight. I think it depends on the situation in which you're going to be going into. So recently I did the video on my Philby pack, which is the Marine Corps ruck pack. And for that specific training that I'm going to, I have to do lightweight stuff because we're going to be moving a lot. We're going to be hiking a lot more, moving place to place more often. So I have to go lightweight. So I think it's very situationally dependent. So from a bushcraft standpoint, though, we generally are not walking very far. So weight doesn't matter. We're not hiking. And at camp in adverse weather over time, that stuff just holds up better and you're getting more bang for your buck.
Number 3. What is your exact birth date?
My birth. Listen, we're not editing this, so every little thing that you mess up here, there's these people, okay, that come out. They're short and round.
Yeah.
They're usually dirty. They have spaghetti stains on their wife beater shirts.
Okay.
They live in their mom's basement.
Okay.
They're looking for bagel bites, and they're out to get you. They're called trolls.
Okay.
They might get you on that because you didn't say birth date correctly.
Okay, so number 3.
12/14/1981.
Okay, thank you.
I went down that rabbit hole hard.
Yeah, we'll edit
All
that
right.
out.
No, we won't.
Number 4. What's your most recommended survival books? Not fictional books. Maybe manual style books that you go to.
So, of course, I have a book, and it was geared towards kids, but it has most of the skills that we use as adults in that book. It's worded more direct towards kids. Horace Kepart's books are real good. Nesmic's really good. Even my buddy, who people think that we're not friends, but me and Dave Canterbury are really good friends. He has really good bushcraft and survival books out. So you can get all that stuff on Amazon.
Okay. Number 5. What's been your favorite video to film so far and why?
My favorite video. That is tough. My favorite video. I would have to say what pops to my... There's 2 that pop to my head. So me and Dan, who I talked about before when we showed you his picture, we made... Dan and I. We made, it was like 0 degrees out, freezing cold. We drank beers and made hot wings over the campfire. So that is always memorable. I had a good time doing that. And then another one, again with Dan. We should bring him on more because I made him do donuts with his brand new car. The car was not brand new. Let's just get this out of the way. The car was probably, it was that blue Jeep. I said, do donuts. It'll be a great opener for question and answer. He's doing it, and he like blew all kind of hoses, and it's smoking, and he's crazy. And I was like, I got to go film Dan. And so that was, I had a good time. But I mean, overall, I like we just recently did one with Jax and Sergio and Mike, my instructors. We ate that MRE meal. That was fun. Like when they're impromptu and we just roll with it, they're usually my favorite.
Okay. Number 6.
These cue cards, can you show them? I mean, they are intense. Flip the cue card over.
I had to make the font pretty big so I could see.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I have my glasses on today.
Okay.
Okay, number 6. What's one piece of gear you always take into the woods, no matter what?
I always take a lighter. No matter what's going on, I always have just a Bic lighter with me. And I know somebody's waiting for some high-speed piece of gear. A Bic lighter I always have with me.
Has that always been your go-to?
Yeah, I can never, ever since when I was real little, my parents wouldn't buy me a Bic lighter, but I took my dad's Zippo lighter. So I always had like a lighter with me whenever I went in the woods, so forever.
Okay. Okay, number 7. What totally grinds your gears about YouTube?
What grinds my gears?
Yeah.
Well,
that's my question.
like in a good way or a bad way?
Both.
Well,
grind your gears probably in a bad way.
Yeah. Well, let's just say a good thing. Let's be positive first. So I do like that I have all this knowledge and that I get to spend time outside and I get to share it with everybody. So that, like, when I hit upload, that's fun every time. And I mean, sometimes you think like, people aren't going to like the video, and it ends up people love it, vice versa. But I think what drives me crazy, because I do a lot, most of the stuff is how to. So I'll post a video and I'm like, this is a knot, and this is how you tie this specific knot, and these are some things you can use it for. And then in the comments, it's like, well, I would never use that knot because I use this knot. And that knot's not good because I tie a ridgeline this way. That is not what we're talking. So it's that kind of thing of like, I'm showing how to like sharpen an axe, and it's just one way to sharpen. And I say this in my videos. I'm like, listen, there's a lot of ways to do this, but this is how to sharpen an axe, one way to do it. And then it gets a flood of like, well, I would never use a stone like that. Oh, that's okay. But it's just not conducive to anything. It's like and then it ruins the comment section, and people who really need, like, have questions, and they don't start good dialogue because you get flooded with that. I hate that.
That's what grinds your gears?
That's what grinds my gears.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't want to shoot YouTube because I'm like cold and I'm grumpy and I don't want to do it. That's too, right?
Yeah, I have to listen to it. Okay, number 8.
All right.
What's one lesson the outdoors has taught you that you apply to everyday life?
That nothing's perfect, and you have to just have persistence, and you have to troubleshoot problems. Because, for example, like you pick a stick, you think this stick's going to be perfect, you start working with it on your project, and the stick's a hot mess on the inside. Like, you didn't know that the grain ran that way and there's a knot and it just doesn't work right. But if you troubleshoot it and you work through it and you can think it through, you can always make it work. Same with life.
Okay. Number 9. What's one upcoming Coalcracker product or course you're excited about?
Product. Let's do product and course. So I like all the products that we make. This is one of the biggest downfalls with me as a business owner. And I think you'll agree. You tell them if this you think is accurate. I get hung up on, I only want to make stuff that I want to use.
Yes,
so it's good,
accurate.
but then like we constantly have to remember like people have different like likes and opinions and needs, and I'm like, well, I would never use that. But that doesn't mean we can't still make a really good product that other people might really need and like. So
I always have to bring them back to reality on that.
So we have that, but so we have new water bottles coming out. They're a plastic, which I'm not always like, you got to carry a metal water bottle, right? But I think that there's also a need for summertime carrying extra water in a lightweight container. They're like a square kind of water bottle. They're actually pretty cool. I'm super excited about them. They're coming soon. And it's just because it's the newest thing. So that's what I'm most excited about. So product-wise, because it's new, called the Hydro Wide. And then as far as classes, it's a close tie-up, but I will say I am excited about our Stay Ready course. So the Stay Ready course is going to be more about that preparedness. We've been talking about that on the videos more often. And I think it's just important for people overall, when you're outside of the woodland environment, to just be prepared. Have some equipment in your car, have stuff at home, and if something bad happens, you have peace of mind.
Okay. All right, you ready for this one?
Are you? I'm going to ask Brooke questions then when we're done this. Yes, we are. I get 3 questions off the top of my head to ask you.
Okay. If Coalcracker made a survival reality show,
Okay.
what would it be called, and who would get voted off first?
So all right. So I have to piece some things together here. So I don't know what it would be called. Like survive or die. That was always one of my favorite
Yeah.
sayings. We had shirts for a while, survive or die. I think that's what I would name it. Seems hardcore. And then we would, I don't know what the whole premise of the show would be, but are we talking instructors?
Yes.
Oh, the instructors. Who's getting voted off first? Whoever I say is going to be heartbroken, for sure. I think, that is such a hard one. I think, wow. That is putting me on the spot. Did you come up with this? That is, so let's see. Probably me. I would be the first one out. I'd be like, I'm done with this.
They would probably vote you off.
Oh, they have to vote us off?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Now
the
that
question
changed
reads,
everything. That changed
Who would
everything.
get voted off first? Voted off.
Oh, I'm thinking
Definitely
like,
you.
oh, they would
They
get
would-
rid of me in the heartbeat. They would be like, he is all over the place. We don't know what he's talking about half the time. And then he's back all over the place again. Because I just throw random stuff and thoughts and ideas, and people, they can't shift as quick. That is one of my
You're a
skill
lot.
sets. I shift thing to thing to thing, and I think everything should just immediately be done, and it's too much. I would be gone. Chuck would be gone because if they had bacon, he would burn it. Dave wouldn't do anything. Dave would just hang out in the back, so Dave would be gone. Mark would be drunk. He might not even make it to the thing. Mike and Sergio would really have to battle it out there towards the end.
Okay.
That's what would happen. Everybody else, sorry guys. That's where we're at. You know we call Chuck Charcloth Chuck
No, I don't know
because
that.
his bacon looks like charcloth, pitch black.
Is it good?
No, it's not good. It's all burnt, and we make fun of him, and he still hasn't fixed the issue. Apparently, he's working on it at home.
Okay.
We'll see what happens in 2025 training season. He has a full menu put together in a notebook. Hopefully, he didn't lose the notebook because the menu seems pretty good. Good old Chuck.
Okay, number 11.
Can I tell you why? I was going to stab Chuck at one point this year because he went and got all this wood out of the
You weren't
kindness
really
of his
going to
heart.
stab him.
Yes, I was. I was going to stab him with a knife.
Like in the hand or something?
Neck. Because I am very OCD with the school property. And Chuck, out of the goodness of his heart, he took my trailer. First, he complained that the tire was flat, which it was, and he fixed it. So thank you for that, Chuck. He went and got all this wood, and it was long like end cuts. Great. I don't want to cut the end cuts. So then Chuck left the trailer, and maybe I told Chuck to leave the trailer in the middle of the road. Remember the trailer sitting there? And I lost my mind. And then I hauled the wood. I actually didn't. I had the kids from the camp store haul the wood down in the woods and throw it in the woods, and I was enraged. Now me and Chuck are best friends again.
Good. Well, I'm glad for that.
Chuck is immediately going to watch this and immediately be texting me over that.
Yeah, you will. All right. Why don't you tell your viewers what your beef is with fixed blade knives?
My beef with a fixed blade knife.
Yeah.
I don't have. All right. Well, I could say this. My beef with a fixed blade knife is the fact that I think that there was this trend. I feel like it went away. But I will also say I do not get myself too involved with videos and online bushcraft survival stuff. And there's a specific reason for that.
That'll lead right into our next question.
Oh, okay. So I don't get involved. I honestly, I don't know. So I hear from my instructors secondhand stuff going on. But there is this huge trend of like, the only way your knife is good is if you can baton the most gnarliest, biggest piece of oak out there. And that is so far from the truth when it comes to like, why that is not, use an axe. And I'm a big axe guy, but I'm not anti-knife. I'm anti-people thinking that's the purpose of a knife. That's not the purpose of a knife. So that's my beef with it. And it was, but I feel like that trend really went away. Like we sell our knives, right? You can baton with them, but that's not like, we don't make the knife to be a batoning tool. You can use it for that, but that's
Like baton, like
yeah. You spin it like this, like a butterfly knife, baton. So you take a piece of. How do you not know this?
I know.
And then you put it in, and
I
you
can't
hammer
do
through.
that.
But if you if you pick the proper type of wood, the right size, and you baton it, it's a technique you need to use. But you don't go get like a big log like this of oak with knots and then try to like, can I pound this through or is the knife going to break? I can break any knife other than maybe like a Bussy Combat, right? They're made to do that though. So that's my beef with it.
Okay.
Now I'm sweating.
Number 12. Is it just me, or is the bushcraft world turning into like a reality TV show?
Well, all right. So it's, I guess from what I hear, again, I stay offline. I stay out of forums. Not because I don't want to interact with people, but drama starts over nonsense. We are a small community that we should all be getting along. Like there is enough. We are not Coke and Pepsi, right? That we have to battle it out for customers. Like what I make is different than what other people make. Everybody has their own little niche. We all have our own little, thoughts on stuff. So just share all that. And then as a consumer, I'd be like, well, just enjoy everybody's stuff, right? So enjoy Coalcracker's like more traditional modern gear, or more traditional gear. And then we do have some modern stuff like the T60, which I think that's a great shelter system overall. And then go over to Canterbury's and get all your stainless stuff. I mean, they make awesome stainless stuff. Go to Adventure Sworn and check out their knives. Go to Badger Claw Leather and get some of his, like, just enjoy everybody's stuff. And we shouldn't all be fighting. To my point, I think that we should all be, us as businesses should be collaborating more and doing more stuff. I mean, for example, like if I would take my school and we go with another school and do stuff, people would probably love that. So we just got to break that barrier down. But people fighting over stuff in this small community is ridiculous.
I agree. Okay, number 13. You're approaching the end here. What's one thing people would never guess about you? Something that doesn't involve knives, fire, or rolling around in the woods like a wilderness wizard.
A wilderness. Well, I like that. I might put that in my
like that?
on a business card, a wilderness wizard. I'm not a people person for how much you would think. And you see me online, even at classes. I mean, I interact with people. That is not my thing. And it's not because I don't like people. I'm just like very like personal and like secluded to myself. And I like to just observe and sit back a lot. I think that's one of the biggest things that people don't. It's weird though, because people know you from YouTube, right? It's almost like when you're little and you know your teacher and you see your teacher for the first time somewhere and you're like, why are they here? Like they're at a restaurant. They're my teacher. Yeah, well, your teacher has a life also. So I think that's weird. I think people don't always realize that with not just me, a lot of people on YouTube, they're like, and I get it a lot less now, but when I first started, and I did spend a lot of time in the woods, but people were like, you're not in the woods? Well, I don't like permanently live in the woods. I spent a lot of time there, but so that's probably it.
Okay, 14. If Coalcracker had a mascot, what would it be and what would its name be?
Oh man, I feel like we need to vote on this and actually create a mascot. So, you know when I wear that black afro wig with the glasses, like the nerdy salesman? I feel like that could be it a little bit, but I don't feel like that's good enough. I feel like we can really have something solid. What would you think? Let's get your opinion at least on one of these questions.
I don't have an opinion on that.
That we can probably have a really good mascot. What could I'm sure my instructors right now are like,
if I had to like off the cob here come up with a mascot just because
I feel like if it was a bottle of beer with a knife like on its hip and it walked around.
Yeah, like a raccoon, because you really like raccoons.
Oh, yes. Now, all right. So maybe a raccoon that has like an axe and a bottle of beer or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Okay, last question. If the instructors at the Appalachian Bushman School were stranded in the woods together, who would take charge? Who would start a fire? And who's definitely getting voted off the island?
Well, they already voted me off in the other question.
Okay.
So
you're all stranded in the woods.
I know, but I would take charge, and it's just because of default, because
Okay, so you would take charge.
I'm the kingpin. So I would take charge.
Who would start the fire?
Mike. No, I'm going to take that back. Mike is going to be offended now, but Sergio would probably start the fire. Mike can start it, but Sergio would be hip hop hooray and on the fire right away.
And then who is just like people are just done with?
Charcloth Chuck. I'm joking, Chuck. I am joking. I am joking with you. They'd be done with me.
Again.
Listen, it's just because it's not. It's like I'm a bad person and the worst person. It's not that. I tell them this when they start. And Mike can probably vouch for this out of anybody. I'm a psychopath with how fast I'm like thing to thing to thing, right?
I agree
what would
with
that
that.
be called? I just shift, and it's not like I'm like
Dan's
crazy
mind
stuff.
just moves faster than a lot of people.
Yes.
And
So I'm like, all right, let's get this done, and then we're not even done that, and I'm like, the next 3 things. Let's just keep going. And that's how I operate
how it
in life.
is in our home too.
My kid said that
We were
last
just
night.
talking about that last night.
He was like, is it normal? He goes, because we get up in the morning and we go to school, and then you pick me up, and as soon as we get home, we work out, and as soon as we're done working out, I practice baseball, and then we go to baseball practice, and then as soon as we eat, which we don't even really sit down and eat, we usually stand at the counter, then we're like going out on some kind of night op with our night vision helmets on, and then after that, I have to do homework and practice the drums, and then maybe before bed, I watch like TV for 10 minutes. Like and I'm like, well, that's normal. That's not like a busy night. That's a normal night.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happens. So I'm just in that mode all the time.
Yeah. Those are all the questions.
All right,
They weren't too bad.
Can I ask you 3 questions?
You can ask me one question.
2. We'll meet in the middle.
1.
2. All right. First of all, I want to know what would make you the CEO of Coalcracker over me. Since you want to the point I had to take it off the website because I was like, there's probably some legal thing that's going to happen at some point, and then you're going to get called up on the stand and say you're the CEO and you have no idea what's going on. Or you just like to say you're in charge because you're in charge of me all the time.
Yeah, I like to say that I'm in charge, but I feel like I ground you, so I keep everything where it needs to be.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
Okay.
And I get stuff done.
Well, why did instructors go to you to get stuff done?
Because you go from one thing to the next, where I actually will focus on it.
All right, we're
Right?
back to this.
The other reason, this is really
I'm like
the main
getting roasted
reason
here.
I'm the CEO, is because if you have Dan's phone number and you text him or you call him, you most likely won't get a reply back. That's just how it is. So the instructors come to me, if they email me or text me, they know that I'm going to respond back to them in a timely manner. That is 100%
I know,
accurate.
because I'm always doing something. So I look at my
So
phone.
let's
and I'm
look
like,
at his phone and see how many
there's
unread messages.
texts on there now.
Text messages that are unread. Let's open it
There's
up
a
and
lot.
check it out.
Well,
31 text messages that are not read. So don't get offended. Don't take it personal. This is just how you are.
Well, yeah.
I could be stranded alongside the road and I call him and he never picks up. That's 100%. And this, you know who could vouch for me? My friend Leslie.
No.
Because she'll be like, yeah, you calling Dan? Let's
See,
if
they
he
make a
picks up
joke
this
out
time.
of it. I don't know.
So that's
Okay.
definitely number one reason I'm the CEO.
All right. I don't have any other questions now.
Thank gosh.
No, not off the top of my head, but maybe people have questions. They can leave it down in the comments because we're going to keep doing this.
Every Wednesday.
We're actually going to... Now that you committed to that online, it has to happen. But I don't mind actually doing this. But John, the cameraman, so
I would like John, the cameraman, to be there, and then he can like zoom in on you when you're talking, zoom in on me when I'm talking.
all right, you talk to John
Show
about
pictures throughout, like we're gonna put Van Linsky right here.
that. Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's what we got going on. But yeah. So this was fun. I actually like doing this because I like talking. So it's definitely a good time. Did you have fun?
I had fun
Your first time? Well, this isn't your first time on, but
doing this.
before we get off here, okay? Can you tell them why? So I would always make Brooke be in videos. She would never be in videos. Tell them why you would never be in videos.
I don't know why.
How do you not? Brooke was a principal at a school.
Oh,
so she was
right,
like, I'm
gotcha.
not allowed. And I said, you are allowed. You could do whatever you want. And then she said that if she comes on here and says crazy stuff,
Yeah, that
that
probably
it's going
wouldn't
to cause
be
a problem. So then we would always, like, it was always a barrier. But now she's not a principal and she works with me full time.
Yeah, and we talked about having our own podcast. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Laughing Through the Grind.
So we're going to do that. And it's going to
That's-
be more, I don't want to say family, but business, family, the chaos of our life.
Just an inside look at what the behind the scenes of. You can't imagine the craziness.
Yeah, not specific like outdoor though.
No.
More business. So we might have got cut off there because, and I knew this is why I kept, if you watch my eyes really closely on the camera, which I'm sure somebody will zoom in.
I'm watching you.
No. On the monitor, at 30 minutes, the camera cuts. So we were already 30 minutes into this. So at some point, the point was we're doing laughing through the grind at some point.
Yeah.
I think once we get a better space set, I like this. I think this looks really rustic. This is upstairs in our warehouse. It's rustic. The building's really
I'm not
old.
very comfortable though in these seats. I'm like trying to stand.
Wait a minute.
Like, sit tall.
Can we please tell them? So I love really nice stuff, but I also love like junk store, like auction finds. And there was a going out of business, Big Lots auction sale from this warehouse. So we go into, it wasn't the CEO's office, but it was like the head of the distribution warehouse, into that office, and they had the chairs that you sit in and stare at the guy in charge and get in trouble. And we bid on them. We got them cheap, $200 or something, for these awesome chairs. We're like,
nice leather, like
these
genuine
leather chairs.
leather.
Yes, these chairs are going to be for the podcast.
They're in my home office.
Now they're all of a sudden they're in the home office. So the chairs are now out. So now we're sitting on benches here, and now she's saying she doesn't have a comfortable seat.
Yeah, my back. I can't. I need to like sit up because people will be saying I'm slouching.
All right. Well,
So
I like
think
this
we need
setup.
to do a little bit better setup with chairs.
Well, I like the vibe up here. So it's wild. If you would see around here, it's wild. But we have monitors up here. We have old heating unit up here. We have screen printing equipment up here. I mean, you name it, it's here. So
TV.
yes. So all old survival gear, MREs, all kind of good stuff. But all right. So I guess that wraps it up. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No.
So I have to figure out the editing now because now I have audio tracks. I have video. And I don't have to cut it apart really. So I just got to go back
we'll
and
make
listen
some
through
edits.
this. No. We are not.
That one in like
No.
the beginning.
No, we're not.
where
Now
I
all of a
was saying
sudden.
birth date wrong.
The birthday. Like you were French almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oui. Okay, so that's it. So here's what we're going to do. Friday, we're launching some new videos. We'll be doing 2 a week, a lot more shorts we're going to be putting out with just quick tips and then just conversation pieces. So on these videos that we do question and answer like this, leave in the comments below questions for future episodes. And I know this one was a little bit more about like me, I guess, in a sense of like personality wise, but you can ask questions around bushcraft and survival techniques or tips or tricks or anything that you have questions on, and we'll try our best to get through them and answer them. What happens after doing this for a little bit of time, though, is you run into like the same stuff coming up. So we haven't done this for so long, so we should get a new influx of questions that will give us a good run on this for a while. Plus, if we just give updates with the business and stuff itself, I think it'll be better. Plus, you're here. And then we get John, the cameraman. He can add to it. John drove all the way to State College for another job today, a video thing. And it was for a doctor. And the doctor was like, I don't feel like doing it. So he's eating waffles now.
At Waffle House?
I don't know. He said he said, guess he's eat a waffle.
All right.
All right. So that's it. Speaking of eating, I got to go eat. But I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until the next video.
Stay in the woods.
Now I got to reach across here and do this.